Alright guys, welcome to another cast. Kingsley's joining me. We have two pretty polarizing figures in the Discord community, Nix versus Calimsha. And so it's Scorpion versus Dragon, and I think this is going to be a very high level game. What do you think, Kingsley?
Yeah, I think this should be an exciting game. Both these players are quite active on the Discord. Both these players are running, I think, quite strong decks.
Mm-hmm.
We have Calimsha was one of the innovators behind the Drop Bear deck in the first place, and he is running a Drop Bears build with the Crab Splash. He has 3 Pathfinder Blades and 3 Haruma Skirmishers with 1 Influence left unspent. And otherwise, we're seeing fairly standard things. He does have only 2 copies of Way of the Scorpion, and he's not playing a Nice. He has 2 Fate Worse Than Death, which should be very relevant in this matchup.
He has no policy debates, which is also pretty important.
Yeah, that is an odd thing. And he's at 2/2/2 on Cloud, Katana, and Fan. Maybe thinking the Katana is less necessary with all the Pathfinder blades. So then,
yeah.
if you look at the comments there on the deck list, you can see them. The first comment is someone asking him why he doesn't play Policy Debate. And Calimsha says it doesn't help me break provinces, it doesn't work when you're attacking unopposed, and more importantly, he has better use of his deck slot than putting a card that doesn't proactively improve the game plan.
So Calimsha is very... He's streamlined his deck to do one thing. Like, he wants to be breaking quickly. I played against it a couple times, and I played against him a couple times. And like the games are really close, but I have seen him, and I have witnessed the deck kind of peter out a little bit.
Like, one thing to note is that he is not running a Fire Province. He's running Public Forum and Rally under Stronghold. So that's another interesting choice.
He doesn't have a lot of ways to gain incremental value. Like, he's just going for quick breaks. And
yeah,
like
he's trying to get breaks.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, the thing is, if he doesn't get his breaks, or like if his game plan gets impeded a little bit, like this deck can falter. Like it can slow. If it gets slowed down, it can have problems.
Then Nix is playing Dragon Crab, and he has a fairly standard build with a few nice little touches. He has
in Dynasty side, he has 1 Secluded Temple.
Yeah, so he has 1 Secluded Temple. He has 1 copy of Cloud the Mind and 3 Policy Debates. And he has 1x Jade Masterpiece, 1x Kitsuki's Method. I actually think this is a great swap, removing the second Kitsuki's Method for a Jade Masterpiece. I've made that swap myself in testing. It's been going pretty well. And he is playing 1 copy of Assassination, which is always nice to see.
And it looks like he's playing. Basically, he's just swapped in conflict side. He's just swapped the method. He's done the method split, and then he's swapped the Cloud for the debate. So basically, taking more. He's taking a more proactive approach against his opponent's conflict deck, as opposed to being reactive against their dynasty side.
And then his dynasty deck is a fairly standard build. He's running all the normal stuff. The only little difference is he has only 2 copies of Agasha Sumiko instead of 3, and he's used his additional slot to a 1x copy of Secluded Temple.
Alright, so it looks like the game has started. I accidentally just left it. And sorry about that, guys. We were just talking about the deck lists.
So we're seeing a very interesting first turn. Nix has played Togashi Yokuni with 1 Fate and a Doomed Shigenja for a very strong early presence. Calimsha immediately passed without playing anything.
This could be really bad if Nix walks into a Fate Worse Than Death on this Yokuni.
I have to agree. I think Fate Worse Than Death on Yokuni could be a huge blowout here. I think that Nix had a very weak flop.
Yeah.
He had 2 big characters, Doomed and Storehouse. And
Nix mulliganed. I'm trying to see what he mulliganed in Dynasty.
He had mulliganed 3 Dynasty cards, which probably,
so he
means
kept
he had
Doomed
some bad luck.
He probably kept Doomed and then mulliganed the other 3.
Yeah, let's see what happens next. So he initiates a political fire conflict, probably trying to honor his Yokuni, and he hits Shameful Display.
Yep.
That's pretty good to see when the opponent doesn't have characters, but somehow I have a feeling Calimsha might be playing some guys.
Calimsha could just play Kachiko here and get an honor.
Yeah, this would be a great situation to play Kachiko.
You just get a Kachiko with a lot of Fate, and then you just go ahead and hit.
Yeah, Kachiko, play Kachiko 2 Fate, use Shameful, throw Doom Shigen out of the conflict, that would be a very, very strong play.
That would leave you with 3 Fate also. It would take Fate Worse Than Death off the table for this Yokuni.
That's a good point.
So maybe he doesn't want to do that. He could Kachiko 1 Fate then, and then if he has Fate Worse Than Death, that would save her from the Void Ring.
Yeah.
So you could Kachiko 1 Fate, and then that would give you an Honored Kachiko, which would almost guarantee a break. It's also really strong if you have a duplicate Kachiko in your hand. So
I have to say, I think this Yokuni 1 Fate is so risky.
I agree.
But he didn't really have another option, I guess.
So
he could have done Yokuni 2 Fate, but that doesn't really help that much against Fate Worse Than Death.
yeah, the main problem that I see right now is that Nyx's flop wasn't very strong. I might have taken a tempo hit.
Ooh, wow.
But should just let it break.
I think that really does signal a Fate Worse Than Death.
It signals that, and I think it signals a Yojimbo. Oh, Calimsha passed through his conflict opportunity.
Yep. So it's a misclick.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to do an attack. I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
You can create new conflicts in manual mode on here.
Oh, okay.
So let's see here. I think we might well see, as you were saying, I think we might well see. Oh, it looks like the Hiruma Skirmisher instead. That's honestly a stronger option than the unassuming Yojimbo in a lot of situations. Let's see here. He's initiating a conflict. It's going to be a mill conflict. He's going to sneak past Yokuni. Probably he's going to Void Ring here to just get Yokuni off the board. Oh, he plays a Pathfinder's Blade too. Okay, we're playing a little loose with the timing here.
Okay, so we do see the let go
comes out.
I think let go on this is strong. You really have two main targets for let go in this matchup, being Pathfinder's Blade and Cloud the Mind.
Yep. Other Pathfinder's Blade comes out. Does Nyx have another let go?
It's like not even that impactful now. So Restoration obviously is still two cards, but
Yep. Shameful doesn't do anything. Feast doesn't do anything.
So he hits Shameful.
He's at strength 2. That Void Ring though is going to be very impactful.
The fact that he hits Shameful is actually a big deal because it doesn't generate Nyx a Fate.
Yeah, it's very lucky for him because if Nyx has a copy of Muramoto's Fury, 3 out of 4 provinces give him the fate that he needs to bow out this Hiruma Skirmisher. Fine Katana comes out. Skirmisher's now breaking.
Does Nyx have the assassination?
Yeah, that's just what I was about to say. Does he have the 1x assassination? If he does, he should use it.
He passed.
Normally, that's actually a card that I mulligan against Scorp, though, because I think it's not good under normal circumstances, but... Okay.
So Calimsha uses the opportunity to steal with
deal with the stronghold before the unopposed.
Before the
that
unopposed.
Makes sense.
I guess so. Yeah. Like if he gets a break with this Yokuni, it could be good.
Yeah. Nyx is evaluating his options.
I wonder if they just trade breaks for breaks. Like if Calimsha lets because if Nyx hits if Nyx specifically hits Public Forum, he'll lose the race.
Maybe if he doesn't have a Pathfinder's Blade.
Calimsha could also have Calling in Favors. So, but yeah, that's fair.
Okay, yeah, we see a Pathfinder's Blade coming out from Nyx. Is there going to be a Calling in Favors to steal it? The downside to this situation is that the Pathfinder's Blade will of course be wasted.
I'm confused on why you would pre-conflict it.
You would pre-conflict it in case he hits the secret cache, which is usually worth blocking, in my opinion.
That's fair.
So the Calimsha passes. We're now probably going to see a conflict from Yokuni. It's probably going to be, well, it has to be a military conflict. He's going in at strength 9, which is pretty huge. And we'll see whether or not Calimsha has an answer to that.
Normally you'd be afraid of Fury here, but because Calimsha's on the Crab Splash, this Yokuni can just kind of run the train. It's
very interesting he's targeting the young rumor monger. I would be going after the plagiarist here. I think that's a more relevant card.
His Public Forum. So now if Calimsha plays Kachiko and then uses Calling in Favors on her,
that would be sick.
He could
Way of the Scorpion dishonors Yokuni, but Yokuni's still breaking. Maybe we're going to see another Way
We
of
can
the
see a
Scorpion.
charge rumormonger. Oh no, we see charge plagiarist,
Charge the
and we're
Plagiarist.
gonna
That
see a
means he
let
can
go.
copy Let Go.
Yeah, it's sick.
So I guess attacking the Plagiarist province wouldn't have been relevant anyway.
If it was secret cache, it would have been relevant.
Nyx steals
Oh,
the Plagiarist's ability. That does not do anything with the top event being charged.
oh, because Sumiko got attacked.
Now we see a free Let Go, discarding the Pathfinder's Blade.
Maybe Calimsha will play something for some reason.
Nyx is getting the break here. An unassuming Yojimbo comes into play outside of the
It's
conflict.
because it's Earth Ring.
Yeah, just to prevent the risk of it being discarded. And then the third Pathfinder's Blade from Calimsha.
So, but Calimsha only has a political attack left, so he can't break. Or I guess if his last card's gonna get discarded. It was an edict.
Yeah, it was an edict. Okay. So, yeah, so he won't break with this attack because it is political.
And
I actually think even playing this unassuming Yojimbo is sort of dubious. I guess you can go for an air ring, but
he's gonna get first attack next turn.
Yeah.
He could also go water ring to get the favor on Umbao's plagiarist.
I don't think that Scorpion cares about having the favor. Wow, he doesn't even attack. Okay.
No, they had to manual it because he skipped his first one. Yeah, he passed his first conflict. Ugh. Let's see. Let me at Rhaegar, see if he's around, or Kratos maybe.
Okay, so going into the next turn, we see that Calimsha has an
Calimsha
unassuming
just
Yojimbo.
taken responsibility and just accepted that he made a mistake. That's fair.
That's unfortunate for him if he actually did. Nick says it's retribution for buying 3 Pathfinder's Blades.
Like,
harsh.
The main problem is on Jigoku, like you have to. It literally asks you, "Are you sure you want to pass your conflict?"
Yep.
Oh, he didn't have any characters. That was the reason that when he passed, because he had no characters in play. Normally it has a prompt there. Yeah, normally it has a prompt there, but he had no characters. So when he passes pre-conflict actions, it skips his conflict.
Too bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So like kind of unfortunate, but also that's also very realistic to happen in real life. If you have no characters and you just say pass in pre-conflict, you immediately would pass your conflict opportunity.
We now see another illustrious plagiarist coming out with 2 fate. I think the plagiarist can be really strong here because
we see an investigator
in this situation he can copy Let Go once again. Investigator is of course a great card. I'm kind of surprised that Nyx didn't play his Swordsmith here. I think that would be really relevant to have. But this turn is obviously. I would be shocked if this turn doesn't go Calimsha's way. I think Calimsha's going to have a big advantage this turn.
I agree.
Cloud the Mind on the Kitsuki Investigator from Calimsha. That's a very strong opening. Calimsha is now out of fate, but he's going to have... So he has several strong characters here. He has the Plagiarist. He has the unassuming Yojimbo, who can sneak in for a military. And the Shisora actress is going to be able to get a Doom Shigenja. So that's going to be very strong as well.
Nyx has 14 cards in his hand though, so hopefully he can solve it. He can do something with this turn.
Nyx's advantage is he's +3 on fate and he's +10 on cards, which is insane.
He's gonna be up on more fate also because the 3 provinces he has left all generate fate.
Okay, so we see the unassuming Yojimbo sneaking in and finding a manicured garden.
I wonder if Nyx has a Fury here.
Yeah, so Fury would be really strong here. There is a risk of it getting countered. The one downside also to Fury is that the Plagiarist can copy it, but Nyx might answer that by simply not attacking, which I think is maybe the play here anyway.
Nyx or Calimsha doesn't block the fate gain from Manicure Garden. Pretty reasonable to not do that.
Yeah, he thinks unassuming Yojimbo is going to be in next turn.
So he's
wow, charge on Swordsmith. That's a strong play.
It's card neutral actually because the Swordsmith replaces itself with the card, and then it's fate neutral also because you pass first and deny the fate from Calimsha. So I actually don't mind it.
Yeah, so in this situation, he's not using the stats optimally. Ooh, it looks like Calimsha does not have another military buff. He's choosing to pass here. Now, we know from Kalimsha's deck that he has 3 copies of Bonsai, and he has
Two
two
katanas.
two katana, but we've already seen a katana.
Oh, that's
and
true.
he
So
has
he has
3
one katana.
Pathfinder blades, but we've already seen 2 of them.
So he only has 4 Milbuffs left in his deck.
Yeah, he has 3 Bonsai.
Oh, Nick's Nick sees a weakness here.
Ooh.
Oh wait,
this
no.
was actually a big mistake from
Yeah,
Nyx, in my opinion.
yeah, the
'cause he
plagiarist
left
is just gonna copy it now.
Just copy it right back.
Oh yeah, Flying Zerling is pointing out that Calimsha could have also copied Charge and sent Unako in.
That is not correct.
Why?
You have to copy your opponent's deck.
Yeah, yeah. So Nick's charged. What?
Oh, yeah, my mistake.
Oh,
my
okay,
mistake.
okay.
I thought we were talking about a situation last turn. Yeah, I think copying Charge actually would have been stronger than copying Bonsai. Maybe. Actually, it would have been the same, I guess.
Well,
No,
it
it
doesn't
would've
cost
been
you an
worse.
honor.
Oh, Kalimsha's actually using the little-known ability to lose an extra honor from Charge.
Or from Bonsai.
He is trying to get, I think he's trying to get below next on honor so that he can engage that stronghold. Now, so actually, I think this Bonsai was a beat by Nyx.
Oh, so now the plagiarist can't Fury. That's pretty sick.
So the pitchers can't copy Muramoto's Fury. I actually do think, though, that we see a little mistake here from Nyx. I think that he should have used his favorable ground to disengage his swordsmith after buying the Yojimbo.
I agree. Kalimsha
Jade
had no
Master
fate.
is the
No,
field.
Kalimsha could have actressed then if he wanted.
Oh, good point. Good point. Though I don't know, making them use the actress without having a
Ooh, Jade
They could-
Masterpiece. That's so sick. Now Nyx cleans up all the fate.
This is the situation where Jade Masterpiece is great. We were talking earlier about how Nyx was suggesting including it, and I've copied his suggestion. Jade Masterpiece in this situation is not only giving Nyx a fate, it's denying that fate to Kalimsha. So the first time that you play it, you don't gain any fate, but you go fate neutral, but you deny a fate to the opponent in a situation like this.
So it's
And then
worth
later
it's worth like
usages-
it's worth half a fate basically.
Yeah, and then later usages are just big profit because it not only gives you one, it often denies it to the opponent. Now we're seeing a conflict at the public forum, trying to finish that off with the investigator. He's going in on strength 5. Kalimsha's defending at 3.
He could also just pull out with this investigator now and use it to defend.
I personally think you stronghold here. Go up to strength 7 and threaten that break. Make Kalimsha play cards.
That's fair. And then use your swordsmith to defend.
He goes with it court games instead. That's reasonable.
I guess this is. Oh, okay. So we see a counter court games.
Yeah, court games. Now we see the stronghold. So now we are breaking. Kalimsha passes. Looks like
This could have.
Nyx has scored the break here. Are we going to see a policy debate? We are not going to see a policy debate. Forum breaks. Rumor mongers bowed, and presumably we're going to be standing the swordsmith here.
Yeah. This
Now-
if Calimsha foolishly faceplants into Feast or Famine, this game could be that could be a huge swing.
He won't. He'll just
He,
attack me.
I mean, look, he won't, but he could. I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
he could just lose his mind.
So I think that if you're Nyx here, what you probably want to do is defend with the Agasha swordsmith here.
Yeah.
And then once Kalimsha uses his actress to deploy the
Doom Shigenja.
Doom Shigenja, then you use favorable ground to leave the conflict, and then you get to scout. Well, it depends on what he has in hand, though.
Well, so scouting is actually pretty bad here because the remaining 2 provinces are Secret Cache and Pilgrimage. If he hits Pilgrimage, it could be unlikely that he has enough mill to break.
If he has a bonsai, I think scouting is good.
I agree. Okay, if I specifically have Bonsai in my hand, I would agree with your line of play.
Yeah. But yeah, that is a fair point. You might just want to hang out. I do think he should have used the favorable ground earlier, but it's possible he was just playing it safe. Okay, so if he defends here, it's actually 3-3, and we know that he has a fan,
Yeah.
which he saw with his swordsmith. So he could be winning this.
If I have
Prior-
a reprieve, I also play
the
it on my
actress.
swordsmith. I think I reprieve my swordsmith to push to push card advantage.
Yeah, I think the reprieve is worth it. It would be more worth it if he hadn't had to use his stronghold, but I think it's worth it.
No, I'm saying
Well,
like
this is a-
like at the end of the turn, if I have a reprieve, I save my swordsmith. Because it's safe from calling in favors, and then also I think swordsmith is really important. He could find like a cloud the mind for this plagiarist.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I was
He
just
clouds
saying-
the actress.
Cloud on actress. That is a bold
Wow.
move.
So that means
I
he had
would.
the cloud and he just played around the plagiarist. The problem that
I
I have with
think
this line is that the plagiarist is going to be around for 2 more turns.
exactly right. I think this is so risky, especially because that's the only copy of Cloud the Mind in his deck. And now he favorable grounds his investigator into the conflict. Is he going to policy debate with his investigator?
You would have
What
just
is he
done it.
doing
You
here?
would have done it in the previous conflict, right? It's the same. It's the same strength.
He let goes the cloud, which he also must have had the whole
Oh,
time.
that's so sick! And now because he has a conflict left, maybe if he has a tattooed wanderer, if he has tattooed wanderer or bonsai, because he has 8 cards in his hand still.
Charge, Haruma Skirmisher, Haruma Skirmisher. That's a good hand, but with no fate.
What do you take here? Charge,
I
maybe?
take
Yeah.
charge. Because the reason is that if I make a military conflict here with a. Well, it depends on if you have tattooed and stuff.
So I'm assuming so this line of play works specifically if you have tattooed wanderer, because
And there's the fan.
okay, okay, here's what I'm calling. Nyx has tattooed wanderer, bonsai, reprieve. He plays tattooed wanderer, picks up the fate off of his earth ring, and then he bonsais to break, and then he reprieves the swordsmith.
That would be the dream scenario, and if that goes off, he's in a strong position to potentially break next turn.
Yeah, he'll get first player.
Also, I'm gonna say here, if action isn't taken to eliminate that Jade Masterpiece, Calimsha will move the fate from the air ring onto the earth ring and pick up 3 fate.
Oh, not tattooed wanderer. Okay, okay, I was slightly off on my prediction. We have a skirmisher.
Haruma Skirmisher instead. Okay. So the question is, does he have that bonsai? If not, and he hits Pilgrimage, it actually improves Calimsha's position.
Fighting Walloon. Basically, the problem was Calimsha spent so much on turn 1 to get a break, and he also got broken as well. So they were even on breaks, and Nyx was up huge on fate and on cards. Like he was up 9 cards and 3 fate. So it was
Yeah, the Cloud the Mind on Actress also makes the situation much better.
yeah.
And I think that Nyx successfully baited Calimsha into an unimpactful trigger with his
Bonsai.
with his with the bonsai for the plagiarist.
Yeah, no, I think Nyx played like beautifully. Like I think I think he orchestrated Calimsha to do exactly what he wanted.
It's also possible that I was just wrong and the card advantage was more impactful. Okay, we see the secret cache here.
Oh, this is important. So him not picking the pilgrimage could be relevant because if he only has a bonsai to break, it would give Calimsha a fate to defend with his skirmisher, which would stop the break.
Ooh, very good point. So, Calimsha now has another card. He has whatever the best card of his top 5 was.
Calling in favors.
Calling in favors.
Oh no! It was Forged Edict.
Forged Edict canceling the bonsai.
Yep,
So
that was
Nyx
very
will
fortunate
win.
for him.
Yeah, Nyx will win but not break. So that was
We see a four. We
that's
see
secret cache for you.
we see the coveted 4-ring take by Nyx.
Yeah. I personally think they should print a card that says if you have 4 rings claimed, claim the 5th ring. If you have 5 rings claimed, win the game as an event.
Oh, as an event, that'd be sick.
It would be like kind of a stupid gimmick because you would have to have 2 of them to actually win that way. And it would be cool though. You'd have to have 2 of them and you have
And
to
there's the
already be
reprieve.
winning.
There's the reprieve for the sources. So I called the turn perfectly. Man, I feel good.
Yep. Good call. The only downside was that Forged Edict did prevent
The
Nyx
break.
from taking his 3rd break this turn.
So
But-
Nyx gets to move the fate from the air ring to whatever impactful ring he wants. Maybe void. It could be he could do water. He could do a political water, and then force out this Yojimbo.
Yeah, I think a political water conflict from the investigator would be extremely strong here.
Ooh, we see another swordsmith. We see Neaton Master, and we see another investigator. Let's see how Nyx wants to play his flop.
So if I'm next, I do Niten 2 Fate and pass. Yep,
Okay.
Niten 2 Fate. Kalimsha brings out an Actress again.
Which
Nyx passes as predicted,
Yep.
and Kalimsha also passes. Okay.
Kalimsha doesn't have any
Kalimsha
cards.
does have
Kalimsha has
a
a
back
specifically.
alley.
He has one skirmisher is the known card in hand.
Back Alley Hideaway is an excellent card with Shisora Actress.
I agree.
We might see Actress fight, sacrifice, then do it again. The only downside being that a second use of the Actress would only get a Tagashi Initiate, which is kind of an unimpactful target.
No, you
But-
can get Haruma skirmisher, which would then gain covert.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point. I always forget that it is. Oh no, actually, it wouldn't gain covert because its reaction is to being played instead of being put into play.
Oh, after you play this character. Okay, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm used to Magic where we're just enter the battlefield triggers are all the same.
Yeah.
All right, so Nick Swordsmiths, what does he find? I guess you're just looking for a sword, right? Like any sword.
Yeah, just a sword. Ideally,
Finds a
a
fan, though.
Finder's blade. Finds a fan. Okay. Maybe he doesn't have a sword. Maybe he already has swords in hand.
Can beef up this investigator. Calimsha could have a fate worse than death, which on this investigator would be a pretty big deal.
Yeah, Fate Worse Than Death Investigator would be very strong for Calimsha right now.
Like if Calimsha doesn't have fate worse than death, I think his hand is gonna get ripped apart because it's very reasonable that Nyx has drawn a policy debate at this point, and this investigator is ready to just debate anybody.
Yeah, so I think what we'll likely see here is Nyx moving that one fate on the air ring to whatever ring he wants. In this situation, Void and Water are both very impactful.
Earth can be impactful too, especially if you're gonna
Earth
go
is
for
too.
especially if you're gonna go for this hand to rip apart your opponent's hand.
Water. It looks like water is the call.
Yep. So this forces threatens two no fated characters from Calimsha.
Incidentally, just a little fact here: the top event is Bonsai for the illustrious plagiarist, which can be quite good if the opponent does not have one, or if it lets you play two in the same conflict, because the maximums are by card name, not by the actual effect. Okay, so we're seeing probably a political attack by both the Niten Master and the Kitsuki Investigator. It's going to be a political Earth conflict, and the question is, do you swing into Secret Cache and give Calimsha another card, or do you go for Pilgrimage?
I think I go for Pilgrimage. I'm already so far up on cards. I don't want to give my opponent a card, especially if
don't
they
want to give him away out.
well, especially if my opponent doesn't have a fate worse than death. So if my opponent doesn't have it and they find it off Secret Cache, that's a huge turn. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we see he gains a fate from the. So we're seeing a big defense here from Calimsha.
So Nyx has to be careful about his timings. Court game specifically is really not good right now because the plagiarist just copies it.
Yep, we're seeing illustrious plagiarist is a very unusual card.
So
sometimes you can kind of bait your opponent into not doing very much, but sometimes it's great. Okay, Court Games comes out. He dishonors the Investigator over the Niten Master. I think that's probably correct. So he is winning but not breaking, which means this ring will not do anything. Presumably, Nyx is now going to use his Kitsuki Investigator's ability.
I would just investigate, and then based on what I see, I would consider passing here, stand my Master, and if he has like a Tattooed Wanderer for his Master, that'd be really strong.
Why do you investigate? Investigate onto Air Ring, I think. Yep, that's the play.
Yep. Double Bonsai, Skirmisher, Fan, Way of the Scorpion. Yeah, you just take the Way of the Scorpion. You take Way of the Scorpion, and if Nyx has a Tattooed Wanderer to give his Niten Master, Covert, it could be very strong.
Bonsai, Skirmish. Okay, so Calimsha can basically just take a military break at this point, since he actually has the ability to use Bonsai twice with that plagiarist.
Nyx could bait it by playing court games here. And
yeah.
So you could court games to re-honor Investigator. Calimsha then would use his plagiarist to then dishonor Investigator again, but then the plagiarist would have been used.
Nyx makes Calimsha play out his fan on the illustrious plagiarist. I think that's a reasonable point. Though if he's planning to play more restricted attachments on the Master, it could end up coming back to bite him. It's also possible he's trying to set up a policy debate here.
He also has only played one Pathfinder's Blade, and it not being restricted is pretty important here.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you have policy debate, like what are you even trying to debate here? Like I personally, if I have policy debate, I know my opponent doesn't have any impactful cards, I wouldn't even consider debating. Like you could debate the Skirmisher maybe.
Debating the Skirmisher might be nice, but he already took the Way of the Scorpion. There's two copies of Bonsai.
And the fan's been played, so
the fan is out.
Yeah,
so it would be Bonsai or Skirmisher. I think you just don't do it.
I agree. I wait for my opponent to give me cards.
Bid one, but I think that's a risk that's usually not very worth it.
I would do it to basically get my opponent when they have a fresh set of cards.
Maybe Nyx is considering that now, or perhaps he's instead considering whether or not he can get a brick.
Maybe he's considering whether or not it's worth it to court games. If he court games here, it basically forces the plagiarist to court games.
Does it though? Court games alone does not. Oh wait, it's currently 8-8. He would need to get 5 more strength. Court games would be 2.
2 boxes. Box plus weapon is 2 more. Okay, maybe.
So
not.
He could do. I think he. Yeah, so he could do court games. play a political item and then stronghold. Looks like he chooses not to. He's just going to pass. He wins but doesn't break.
He's
That's
gonna
very
stand his
reasonable.
master here.
Yep. Unless, oh yeah, and he has the first action. He should do it right now to avoid a potential Cloud the Mind.
Yep, I agree.
The question is,
No,
does he have a
We
weapon?
know Calimsha doesn't have it. We know Calimsha's hand.
Oh, yes, of course. I forgot. Seeing your opponent's hand. That's the thing in this game.
So Pathfinder's Blade readies. Does he have a Tattooed Wanderer? If he has Tattooed Wanderer, that could be really, really good. Nope, Nyx passes.
So now Haruma Skirmisher hits the field. I actually think this is a mistake by Calimsha.
Why?
He's going in for the double covert, but I think he has this conflict basically no matter what. I would save the Haruma Skirmisher to be played defensively.
Why is he checking in your province here? If he hits Feast or Famine, it's a pretty big deal.
Oh
no, yeah, he has the Pathfinder's Blade.
Yeah, with the Pathfinder's Blade, it doesn't matter.
How many Lekos have been
Restoration.
played? 2 Lekos?
I believe Nyx has played 2.
Yeah, he's played 2. I just checked.
Yeah, so if the third let go on the Pathfinder's Blade would be crushing here, stealing the fate from the Plagiarist onto the Swordsmith. That would just give Nyx a totally dominant board for next turn.
This is... I don't like this if I'm
Oh,
Calimsha.
no, you know what? Actually, using both characters is reasonable because he does have a Shisora actress here. So he is going to have the opportunity to play the potential double bonsai.
Oh, the bonsai? Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if you're Nyx, what do you do here? Maybe you do nothing. If you have Miramotos, you Miramoto the Yojimbo. Yep, he has Miramotos. Now,
This forces a bonsai.
Plagiarist can copy Miramotos, but if the attacker is Niten Master can just stand himself up again, assuming that Nyx has another weapon. So that might actually be a good move. Yeah, we see the bonsai come out.
Yeah, Calimsha's hand is currently a singular bonsai, and he has this he still has an actress activation and a plagiarist activation.
So I guess he's just making Calimsha play his cards. Okay,
So Nyx boxes.
or Calimsha boxes rather.
Oh yeah, Soldier Token points out in chat that Master is no longer a valid target for Fury because Nyx has scouted all 4 provinces.
Oh wow, good point. I hadn't realized that, and that actually means that Nyx has essentially blanked the Plagiarist here, assuming that his next attack is only with the Master. Now we do know.
You can just go after
we do know there's
Pilgrimage here.
another bonsai, but the Master will be at strength 4.
He can get up to 6, and then he'll be playing
You
against
gotta get
7.
Void. So I think if you're Nyx, you actually swing for that air ring and get the fate here. But it's possible that you go for the.
He is going air.
Interestingly, he's sending in his Agasha Swordsmith. I think that might be a mistake here.
Is it?
I think that Calimsha has the opportunity to use his back alley hideaway to put his actress in play again and make a second conflict.
Oh,
And
that's true. Yeah.
but I guess the only thing he could break would be Feast or Famine, which would actually be negative for his position. But it would mean that he would get to attack first into the stronghold. Okay, so now the other I actually definitely think the Swordsmith's a mistake because it makes that Miramoto's Fury relevant.
That's true. I agree.
I think if the Swordsmith stands at home, that's actually much better for Nyx.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
so now we indeed see the Doom Shigenja. So now, and the back alley hideaway takes the actress as we predicted. So I actually think Nyx has opened himself up for a potential counterattack here, but we'll see whether or not he has the extra oomph to get through here. Tattooed Wanderer comes in with a fate.
What do you
so
think
then he
about
can-
what do you think about this? Like, would you have just considered putting it on your Neaton Master to be able to block?
Put in what?
So you could Tattoo Wander your Neaton Master to give it covert, so he could have blocked the a military attack from Calimsha?
That is a reasonable option. Okay, so now it's Stronghold. So then,
Plagiarist can copy
Plagiarist
Fury
can
and
use-
bow out the Tattoo Wander, and we know Calimsha has a bonsai in his hand.
yeah, I don't think Nyx is going to be able to break here unless he has a bonsai. He needs a bonsai of his own and another item. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. So now we see the bonsai.
bonsai of his own doesn't help because then the Plagiarist is on again and just copies bonsai.
No, the Plagiarist already copied Miramoto's. You
Oh,
can't.
it did already.
Yeah, you can't use it twice. So I actually think it's a bit of an error for Calimsha to use the bonsai here instead of just using his Plagiarist.
Yeah, I agree.
Is he losing honor voluntarily? He's not. Nyx passes. So I think that So now Plagiarist bows Swordsmith because he can, I guess.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah, this attack with the swordsmith was very poor. Especially
yeah,
especially since
Swordsmith should hang back.
well, like maybe if the fury wasn't there, right? But because the fury is there, it's just zero reason to attack.
Oh, very interesting. He plays the Sorcerer Actress with an extra fate, so now he's going to attack. Probably he goes for an Earth Ring here.
Yeah,
But
I
he could
agree.
go Fire to dishonor the Niten Master. And I don't think Nyx is going to be able to respond to this because he made that error with the Swordsmith. I think that he's going to give up. This won't be a break, but
It is firing.
yeah, so it won't be a break, but it will be one of his guys gets dishonored for free.
And he loses an honor, which could come into play.
Yeah, so he loses an honor and his Niten Master gets dishonored. He does gain a fate, but I think that's actually
He's
quite
gonna
negative for him.
he's gonna be at 3 honor after this because the investigator's gonna die also.
Unless he has another reprieve.
That's fair.
But yeah, I think that was I think attacking with that swordsmith was a serious mistake.
Yeah, because the
I'll-
swordsmith can defend this very easily because it's just five defense.
Yep, no doubt. And the only thing, so the actress could sack to copy initiate and then honor self, but that would also just be 3, so it wouldn't be useful. Or
Well, he doesn't have a fate to honor itself.
Oh yeah, good point. Well, I guess he wouldn't have put the fate on the actress if you were sacrificing, but yeah. So I think that Nyx just let his Niten Master get dishonored for no reason.
Yeah, it kind of defeated the purpose of taking away the scorpion. You know what I mean? Like, that was why he took away the scorpion with his investigator. I still think Nyx is ahead right now, but we're seeing the long term play of not clouding this plagiarist.
Yeah, so Nyx is ahead, but his lead is diminishing a bit.
He didn't have the reprieve for his investigator either. We see a Yunako, a Soshi, and an illusionist. We see Yokuni from Nyx though.
Yokuni. So I would, if I were Nyx, I would really be worrying about that fate worse than death, which we still haven't seen. I think that
You could play Swordsmith and Adept.
yeah.
Yokuni is pretty sick. If your opponent fate worse than death, you can use Plagiarist to copy and then copy fate worse than death.
Yeah, I think if you use Yokuni, you can preemptively copy Plagiarist. But it looks like that's not what he's going for.
Yeah, he's going for the smaller characters.
Yeah, I actually really like the Yokuni to throw fate worse than death back at Calimsha.
Calimsha doesn't even play out of his dynasty deck very often. I think his dynasty flops have been perfectly fine. The actresses specifically have been super helpful, and the second plagiarist. Calimsha's just always playing out of his conflict deck.
So here,
Nyx bid 1.
Nyx bids 1. Okay, that's fair. He's worried about getting dishonored. He still has card advantage, and he has his Agasha Swordsmith. So we see Nyx kind of playing it safe there.
I think I would have 2-bid if I wanted to play it safe. So that way, if I
Fair.
get one bid, I'm still reasonably healthy. It also would force my opponent to attack airing first.
Yeah, so here we're seeing the Swordsmith comes out, and Nyx takes a reprieve. That's going to be very impactful, assuming it doesn't get stolen with calling in favors.
This is a pretty.
Interestingly, Calimsha has played an unassuming Yojimbo with an additional fate. That means that
Fate worse than death is off the table.
Nyx no longer needs to worry about fate worse than death.
Hiroe never gets played. I watch Calimsha play, and he rarely plays his 4-costers. He just charges them.
He usually doesn't play cards from his he usually doesn't play cards from his dynasty deck.
Going after Manicure Garden. The other reason to play. See, if Nyx had just played this Tattooed Wanderer on his Neaton Master, he would have just been able to block these attacks, these covert attacks.
It looks here. Oh, you know what?
What's up?
Niten Master still has the Pathfinder's Blade.
Yeah.
I guess he's saving it for that rally to the cause on the Stronghold.
What do you mean? He attacked Pilgrimage twice.
I know. If you have the Pathfinder's Blade, there's a good argument for going for Sacred Cache.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, Niten Master is going to defend this conflict. Niten Master is currently. So I think maybe you throw in another guy to prevent yourself from being dishonored by court games,
Yeah,
and then you
we
can
see
use your own
we
court
see a
games
swordsmith
to.
here.
Yeah. So,
Core games for Nyx doesn't work because of plagiarist.
it does work because he can put the dishonor on his Agasha Swordsmith. I'm assuming Yojimbo runs away, probably afraid of a policy debate here.
Yeah, look, Click. Like I understand that you've been working on it, but like saying that his flops have been terrible, I don't think this has been terrible. Like he's had playable cards each time.
I think if Nyx has the policy debate here, you might well still policy debate the actress at 5-1. Or sorry, at 5-3, and just bid 1, because Calimsha can't actually afford to bid very high here. Yep,
Let's
there we
see.
go. There's the policy debate. Calimsha's chosen a bid. Yep, 1-1. Assassination, Cloud for Shame, and Fan. Okay, so I think in this situation,
take for
probably.
Shame?
Well, let's see. So for Shame would let him bow the Niten Master. That's pretty strong.
He takes the
Cloud
for Shame.
would let him. I don't know. I think in this situation I might take Cloud.
It depends
We'll
on your
see, though.
hand. It depends on your hand.
Calimsha passes. Are we going to see another policy debate?
Yeah, Click. He played the plagiarist when he had no cards in his hand.
Oh, interestingly, this means that. Oh, yeah, there's the second policy debate. I suspect this one's going for
The cloud.
probably the Cloud, and then he plays his reprieve on Negan Adept, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Or
fair.
he
No,
just-
no.
or he
Why?
just-
He can't assassinate. He's at 3 honor.
Oh yeah, the assassination's a blank card. Derp. Yeah, you take Cloud. If he takes assassination here, that's a mistake. Yep. Okay, so now we know Calimsha's only relevant card is a Fan. He can't play his assassination or he'll die. That's one other benefit to bidding low.
That's true.
Though I think that because Calimsha only has one assassination in the deck, it's a little silly to counterplay one card. Okay. The other thing is our friend the plagiarist is actually back to being derpy right now.
Yeah, he can policy debate. Well, plagiarist has 5 skill though.
Right, yeah, just his ability is not. Oh, by the way, I think if I'm Calimsha, I actually play Cloud the Mind. I think I play Cloud the Mind
After the first policy debate.
on the Niten Master, of course.
Yeah, after you see your opponent after you see him take for Shame.
Yeah.
Nyx could also have had Let Go, and not a weapon. Oh no, he did have a weapon. He had a die show. Okay. So we're gonna see a mill attack here.
One thing that is really surprising to me is that Calimsha has. I've actually played several games recently where I've seen Scorpion players not play their Sinister Associate, and Calimsha only even has 2 in the deck. It's very strange to me because I've long considered Sinister Associate to be one of the best cards. Just period.
Yeah, it's really strong. The fact that it just can go into any or do it in any conflict is very strong.
Did Nyx remember to gain a fate from his Manicured Garden?
Let's check.
Looks like he did not.
That is an unfortunate misstep.
Yep.
It's tiny edges. Click saying
One
you can't
fake
participate. Hard to
difference.
break that way. Then why is it in the deck though? Like I mean, if that's the argument for this card, then why do you have it in your deck? If like I don't know, if it goes against if that's your I guess your motto or like the way you want to play your deck, like I'm totally for that. But why have this card in your deck then?
Okay, here we're seeing an attack. Looks like Niten Master. It looks like Nyx has switched to going after the secret cache, and he's going for a water ring. He's going for a. Is this a
That's fair.
political
That's fair,
water?
Click. All right, that's fair. He could water to unbow his swordsmith and then threaten this plagiarist. I could see water being strong. Hey, what's up, Joe? Let me just give you the quick mod. All right, Joe, mod my chat for me. Be useful.
Political void against the secret cache. The only attacker is the Niten Master.
Joe actually just subbed to me. Holy shit, I got my first sub. All right, Joe,
Congrats, bro.
you're the best, dude. Subbed with Twitch Prime. Holy shit. If you have Amazon Prime, yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub every month. Cause Amazon owns Twitch. Holy shit! Thanks, dude. You are indeed my very first sub. Oh no, no, soldier token. I'm not. I didn't even know he was subbed to me. Please. Kappa. That's definitely a Kappa there. Alright, I mean, look, clearly since Joe's my first sub, if I ever get an emote, it's gonna be the googly crab emote, probably.
Okay, we see, indeed, Pathfinder's Blade cancels secret cache.
Yeah, that's the only reason you attack secret cache, right, is if you're... I guess you get a ring effect this way, so you can void off the Ojimbo.
Currently, Calimsha's actually winning this conflict, thanks to the dishonor on the Niten Master.
Oh,
Let's
Nyx did
see
a
what-
political attack.
Yeah, this is a political attack. I think his thought may be to force Calimsha to defend, making Calimsha's own political attack weak. But it's a little unusual.
If you're Calimsha there, do you grab a policy debate? Your hand is nothing. Like your hand isn't very good. Would you consider grabbing policy debate with plagiarist and then policy debating?
Oh,
the
I
master?
see. The reason he made a political attack is because he's now playing another Ancestral Daisho on Niten Master, discarding his fan, so he wanted to use the stats in that fan while he had it.
That's fair.
So he now has the ability to threaten an extremely powerful military attack, which I think Calimsha is unlikely to be able to defend. But Calimsha can attack with both of his guys and quite likely get a... Ooh, I don't know what's going on here. He's going for the Feast or Famine?
No.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Let's see if Nyx remembers that he has not used Manicure Garden.
Yep.
I don't know if you do this, but when I'm playing, if I don't remember if I use something, I just click on it a couple of times to make sure.
Oh yeah, I absolutely do.
Like at the end of the turn or whatever, like I'll click my swordsmith. Like, I'll just click everything to make sure that everything's been used.
Yeah. Make the let the system work for you, you know.
Holy shit! Click for snare with a second sub. Man, I am just getting subscriptions. All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So, like, if people really like the channel and like people tune in, Rega and I were talking about a really cool like invitational tournament, like kind of a third tier to the leagues and cups. And I think that would be really, really awesome.
Yep.
All right, so he's gonna blank. He's gonna covert the Niten Master. If you're Nyx here, you just defend with your adept and you can reprieve it. I think on Calimsha I covert the adept. Cause he knows Nyx has a reprieve in his hand.
Calimsha has disconnected. Oh, but he's back.
No,
Okay.
he's back. He might have just been trying to reset something in the client.
I was gonna say this game is by no means over.
Yeah, I feel like Calimsha's being a little bit aggressive with these faster calls. I definitely do not think any player has. I don't think Nyx has even come close to venturing to slow play.
Calimsha is extra touchy about play speed. I remember he was actually quite mad at, I forget what tournament it was. Okay, looks like Nyx has lost his opportunity to take that trigger. He defends at strength 4 and then immediately passes. And Nyx, Calimsha also passes, so we see no Manicured Garden.
Yeah, see, this
Bit
is
of a
the thing.
mistake.
Like, if I'm Nyx, I don't even care that Calimsha's saying faster. I'm, like, just gonna take my time and I'm gonna do the correct plays. Like, I feel like he's rushing a little bit too much. Like, he could have easily played. He didn't have to defend with his Wanderer. He could have played Reprieve on his. He could have preemptively played Reprieve on his Adept.
Yep.
And then he would have had an
Yeah, so
extra
I
attack.
think he misplayed that conflict. I think he should still have a character here for this attack.
Yep.
We'll see whether or not he has the strength to break anyway. He would need... What would he need here?
Tofu24, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're really enjoying it. Tofu, it says this channel's awesome. He watches every VOD and he thinks the commentary duo is great.
Nyx is just passing, so he's winning but not breaking. And he's going to win an air ring and steal an honor from Calimsha, probably. So, yeah, I do think that Nyx is actually making some mistakes here. I think that he could have defended that conflict with just the Niten Adept. I think he should have pre-played an attachment onto the Niten Adept. I think he should have then forced Calimsha to either pre-play his fan or just get bowed. And then I think he would be looking at... And I also think he should have taken the Fate from Manicured Garden. So I think those are
3 mistakes.
some significant mistakes. I think it's possible that he would have actually been able to get a break here, if not for those mistakes.
We
But
see
we'll see.
Shoju show up.
Yogo Hiroi is also here. Yogo Hiroi can be a very annoying card.
Joe, that crab game, I still think that was the best game of the tournament, by the way, Joe. I'm pretty sure the Jokingly Kirimo game, I think it was just the best game so far.
Red Sugu takes the field with 2 Fate.
Right, Sugu's really good against these no-fated characters.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably see Doom Shigenja from Nyx as well.
Click, since you're in chat, do you mind explaining why you don't play Shoju here? Shoju can threaten breaks a lot.
No Doom Shigenja from Nyx. So he does get the Fate for passing early.
He could have a charge.
Players bid 1.
He could have a charge. Charging Doom Shigenja's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
He could charge. Another strong play is charging Neaten Adept and then putting Reprieve on it. It gives you an attachment to bow with, and it stays around.
Calimsha still has 1 copy of Forged Edict, but with only 4 cards in hand and 13 in deck, odds are he does not have it.
Calimsha still has not seen a single calling in favors. We've seen no calling in favors and no Fate Worse Than Death.
Ooh, Swordsmith hits Pathfinder's Blade. That's a good draw.
Yeah, it can just it lets him attack the Secret Cache again. Click saying it might be for damage control. That's reasonable.
So, if you're Calimsha here, how are you going to get out of this situation? So you're down on honor, you're down on cards, you're down on board.
You survive this turn. If you survive this turn, I think you're okay.
I think if the one thing that Calimsha would actually quite like here is if this turn ends up trading breaks, because then Calimsha gets the first attack against the stronghold. With the one caveat being that both players are running Rally under their stronghold, which has a tendency to disrupt first attacks, but it's going to be more disruptive for the Scorpion than it is for the Dragon, given that the Dragon
Katana on Right
more balanced stats.
Threatens any of these characters. Right Sugu's duel. So if he could challenge Void, and then he could just basically clear off Calimsha's board if Calimsha defends.
Yeah, it might also be worth challenging the Fire Ring to try to honor up that Niten Master.
If he has, especially, he has the Reprieve. We know he has the Reprieve. The problem is that now that Calimsha has 4 cards in his hand, he could have drawn a Calling in Favors.
That's true.
Oh, Hida Havoc, 3rd subscriber. Hell yeah, we are getting it. We're getting a lot of compliments too. We had one person say that he thinks that our commentary duo is very good.
Tight.
Going after Pilgrimage, okay. So we're going to see Mill here. This frees up a lot of events now for Nyx, now that this Plagiarist is gone.
Military conflict of Pilgrimage, contesting the Fire Ring. Nyx takes he's just going for the break on Pilgrimage. He's probably trying to save that Pathfinder's Blade to block the rally. And I have to say, with his huge military strength here and the Miramoto Red Sugu, he has a very good chance of getting his break.
That's fair.
Calimsha defends with Hiroi only. Probably he's going to use Hiroi to pull another character in. Probably it's going to be the Niten Adept.
He is going to get a Fate dueled off of Hiroi.
Yep, Hiroi moves in Niten Adept. Now Red Sugu will duel Hiroi, knock off a Fate for free.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chat asking what subs do, and it does give me a small amount of revenue. And so I get about 50%, I think, of what that is, if I remember that. And so basically, all these subs is basically gonna give me, all the subs are gonna buy me a free lunch. So Hida Havoc suggested that I should share it with you. So if I get enough to buy 2 lunches, I'll order you a pizza or something.
Thanks, bro.
So we see a For Shame bowing the Niten Master. Does Nyx have another weapon? Oh, he has Pathfinder's Blade in his hand.
Yeah, he does have Pathfinder's Blade. We know he has it. We see a Bonsai. Wow, Calimsha is fighting hard to avoid.
That is the last Bonsai.
I think this is a huge mistake because.
The Reprieve comes out. Oh, that's so strong.
Will we see an attachment from Calimsha? Does Calimsha play his fan here just to prevent it? Yep,
does Nyx have a let go? Nyx have the 3rd let go?
Yeah, so if Nyx has his 3rd let go, he can do that, or he can use his Pathfinder's Blade here. Yep, there's the Niten Master.
Does Calimsha have another For Shame? He only has 1 card in his hand.
Calimsha passes. Looks like the break is going in here. So now we're in a situation where Calimsha has 1 card, and so okay. Here's another question: Fire Ring. Do you honor your Niten Master, or do you dishonor one of Calimsha's guys? I think you honor your Niten Master here because the Socio-Illusionist can knock off a dishonor token, but it can't take away a default status.
That's
so I
fair.
think you want to remove the dishonored status here.
That's reasonable. Yeah, I think that might be right. It could cost him a fate though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, soldier token. His last card is assassination. We do know his last card.
Oh yeah, and he can't play it. So
Yep,
that's
and we
pretty
know
good.
that Calimsha's not running any nieces, so he cannot. He cannot what's it called? He cannot get rid of it. It's just gonna sit in his
Let's
hand.
take a quick look here and see how many attachments Calimsha has left in his deck. He has one copy of. Does he have 2 ornate fans in the deck?
Yeah, it's 2 fans, 2 katanas.
So he has 1 katana, and that's it for attachments. So that Nitan adept. Well, the Nitan adept will lose his own attachment, but it could get one of the ancestral Daisho that will go back to Nyx's hand when Nitan Master leaves play.
Yeah.
Now, does Nyx have another weapon to stand the Nitan Master, or does he perhaps have a reprieve for that Nitan
It
Master?
would be his third reprieve.
Let's see what he's used.
Yeah.
It would be his third reprieve, and he doesn't have any Pathfinder's blades, so he would have to lose one of those Daisho to replace it with a katana, if he did have that option. We now see a military conflict going into Manicured Garden for the Water Ring. That's a strong option because it will bow out the Swordsmith. Nick doesn't defend. Let's see if he remembers to take his fate this time from Manicured Garden.
Yep, he
Last
does.
time-
He does. Oh,
Yep.
what if Nyx has Fury here?
Then that's just brutally bad.
Nope, he does not. But Calimsha
Okay,
can't
so
break.
It looks like, yep, win
Maybe
but
this
no
was-
break.
Maybe this was a mistake playing that bonsai. Maybe you're supposed to. Maybe he sequenced. I think he sequenced it incorrectly. So you for Shane first. You then play. You block the bow. Oh wait, no, it doesn't matter because then he doesn't need to stand his guy because you don't have any
Here's an
military
odd
strength.
twist. Instead of bowing the Swordsmith, Calimsha is standing Harai.
Yeah,
So
because
I
he has a
think in
political
this-
attack left.
I know, but I think, yeah, if you
Well,
trade, you're going first next turn. That's not horrible.
Like you're not worried about this. Like, are you really worried about the swordsmith attacking you?
No, the swords. I mean,
So
Swordsmith won't break.
Swordsmith can attack void. Like I think I attack void and I trigger rally.
Yeah, attack Void. Well, but like Void isn't gonna do a lot. I guess it will make him defend.
It makes him
But he
defend.
can- Yeah, I think political Void is a good call here.
And if Calimsha goes greedy, well, because I think Calimsha defends with Heroi here. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Defend with Heroi. Don't let. Oh, and also Heroi can pull in a.
No, he's already pulled.
And just,
He's already
Oh,
pulled.
has he?
He
Oh,
pulled
right,
the
right,
adept
he
in
pulled
the
that.
first conflict.
how sad. Well, looks like
Yeah, soldier
Yeah.
token pointing out that he could have gone for a break with the illusionist.
Kitsuki's method on Swordsmith. Oh, is he gonna?
No, he
do
has
the-
favor. He has favor. So box gets him the ring.
Yeah, he can box up to actually
Use
win
box.
this conflict.
Oh yeah, I need to get a use box emote.
Yeah, dude, use box emote for sure.
Like
Yeah, he does it. He does it.
Like that'll be like the meme of my chat room. Basically, is use box.
Yeah, that's what we gotta start smash that use box button in all these crane games where both sides are forgetting.
All right, does he have a reprieve?
Brutal stuff for Calimsha. His Heroi. Calimsha has totally lost control of the game right now.
So if you're Calimsha, what ring do you go for here? Probably Earth.
Air.
Okay. Oh, he goes
can
after
hit
Feast or Famine.
He can hit Feast or Famine almost freely now because he doesn't have fate on his guys.
No,
The
it's a
one
break. He
downside-
breaks Feast or Famine.
No, right. The reason that it's not actually totally free is because Nyx gets.
Does
a
Nyx
fate
have
for
a
this
Does
and
Nyx
wouldn't
have a
get fate
Fury?
for Manicure.
I wonder if Nyx has a
Nope.
Fury.
I don't think so. He might have a tattooed.
Just anything. Oh no.
Nyx takes the break. So in this situation, if you're Calimsha, you probably take 2 honor. That's indeed what we see.
All right. If Nyx has a reprieve for the master, I think the game might be over.
Yeah, reprieve on master would basically end it, but looks like we don't have it. But what we do have is right Sugu with a katana and a
2
Nitan
die shells in
adept,
hand.
and a lot of ancestrals, which means that Nitan adept's enabled.
Yeah. Nyx has 3 unknown cards and 2 die or 3 unknown cards, a method, and 2 die shows.
Okay, so we are 3 breaks to 3 breaks though. Both players are low on honor. Agasha Sumiko. Well, I will say that secluded temple is going to do absolutely nothing. But Agasha Sumiko right now is going to be oppressive.
I don't like this play from Nyx. I would have played Agasha Sumiko with 3 fate. And the reason I would have played her with more fate is because if you get hit by a fate worse than death, that's a way for Calimsha to salvage this turn.
Yeah, I would put at least 1 more fate on her. Secluded temple does absolutely nothing, but favorable ground could be really hype here.
Yep.
However, both players have favorable ground. Okay, what are you bidding here? I'm bidding low if I'm Nyx.
Yeah, because I have these ancestrals.
I'm gonna bid 1 or 2 if I'm Nyx
I'm
here.
bidding 2.
If I'm Calimsha, I can bid a little more. Calimsha goes 4, Nyx goes 2.
Okay.
So then we see Calimsha box. Calimsha's now behind on honor again, but has drawn a few more cards,
So
trying to
it's
kind of...
6. So it's 5 actual cards in Calypso's hand in assassination, while Nyx has 5 unknown cards, 2 die shows, and 1 method.
And it's interesting. Earlier we saw the case where Jade Masterpiece is good, and now we're seeing the case where Kitsuki's Method is good. So both are strong cards, and they're kind of competing for the same slots in these dragon
So
decks.
if you're Calypso, I think you do a military attack with your Hero Way, picking up the ring off the Fate, or the Fate off the ring. Hook in Sumiko, and then you favorable ground out your guy, forcing Nyx to favorable ground his guy out. The real problem, I think, for Calimsha is
Oh
gonna
man, Nyx has made a big mistake. He should in this situation he should pre-play an attachment onto his need adept, and then bow Heroi immediately on the attack so that Calimsha can't withdraw with favorable ground.
Does it matter? You just do it. You just do it on your attack.
It somewhat matters because a bowed character can't if Calimsha has. I don't think have we seen all 3 first game? Maybe we've seen all 3 first game.
I think we've only seen 2.
No, there's 1 left. There's
Yeah.
1 left. It might. I guess.
Oh, a bowed character can't participate. Yeah, that's fair.
but he could favorable ground in the bowed character if he really needed it for a trait or something. So I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, Calimsha actually initiates his political conflict, and it gets swapped. I don't know if that's a mistake. It might not be a mistake. It might indicate that he has a. Has he played all of his unassuming Yojimbo?
No, he has 1 left, but he has no bonsais.
Unassuming Yojimbo going in for the military conflict.
He has no bonsais.
Yeah, all 3 bonsai have been expended.
And I don't think does he have a sword left?
He has a katana, and that's it.
Yeah, so he can't. So Yojimbo can't break on its own.
Agasha Sumiko gets sent in. Agasha Sumiko disengages with favorable ground.
Why did Nyx block?
I don't really know.
What? I think this is a throw, like a pretty big throw. Does he not want to have a card get discarded?
What?
This
Why
line
would he have a...
like maybe like a skirmisher or something. I don't know. This line of play is very poor from Nyx. If he wanted to block, all he had to do was play method on his adept.
Yeah. Okay, so whatever. Nyx wins.
I think
the
Nyx
conflict.
is still gonna win on this attack. I could be wrong.
He can. I think he can break military right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's gonna be attacking. He's gonna have strength 5 +4 for so 5 for Retsugu +4 for Sumiko
+3 from the initiate.
for initiate once you honor.
Oh yeah,
he has a skirmisher. Wow.
Yep, and now the favorable ground has been used. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I think.
I think I would be astounded if Nyx does not break the stronghold right here. I think that's gonna be a good game. He has a lot of strength. You know, I was talking earlier about
he has minimum 4 military in his hand plus his box. So he has minimum 6 plus the honor of the initiate. So he has 5, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15 plus 4. He has 19. He has to make sure to put his skirmisher back in the conflict.
Yeah, this is that stupid stupid thing where you swap what type the conflict is.
Yeah. It's for dash characters.
By mistake, he's trying to fix it.
Yeah, I'll say we did manual a full conflict, so I'm sure if this happens, we can fix it.
We have a server error here.
Just manual. Yeah. Just manual move in. Yeah, he double clicked the ring, so it became political. Yeah, and he tried to covert. Oh, Calimsha says I need to think about a bit on this one. If I'm Nyx, I immediately hit him with think faster.
No, come on.
Look, if my opponent is telling me that all game and then they hit me with I need to think, I'm absolutely hitting them with think faster. Yeah, see, Tofu understands. See, my chat understands. Can I get a use box in chat? Am I right?
Man, I think the old saying goes, humble in victory and gracious in defeat. I think that even if your opponent is trash talking you or whatever, you just smile and win.
I will point out that I wouldn't do it to somebody I didn't have somewhat of a rapport with.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Like if you and I are playing, right? So like we might play in the next round. If we're playing and like some banter goes on in the game, I'm not gonna see it as anything negative, right? Like I feel like you and I have a decent rapport where I can take it as a joke or whatever, or I can take it as just all in good fun. And like it is a game. Like I mean, I'm totally in to have a little bit ribbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
Fighting Walloon. In 8 cards, Calimsha has 8 cards left in his deck. He has not seen a Kachiko or a Fate Worse Than Death.
Calimsha GG's out.
For information, I'm sure Calimsha's gonna let us know right here how he didn't see those cards, which is a reasonable complaint. Like his conflict draw was very poor this game.
All my
in the bottom 8 cards. Yeah, that's literally the last 8 cards. It's 3 Calling in Favors, 3 Kachiko, and 2 of Fate Worse Than Death. That's 8 cards.
That's wild. But yeah, that's really not what you want to see. But I honestly think a Worse Than Death would have been very strong in some of the earlier turns, but it wouldn't save you this turn. I think even with a Fate Worse Than Death, he's doomed.
Yeah, Tofu, I'm with you on that. Obviously you can just let your opponent know. Like I mean, Nyx did ask what was in his hand, so it is reasonable for Calimsha to kind of just let it out. Basically, the way I see it is you just let it out, and then that's it. You don't then bring it up over and over again. Every single person will have or has lost to bad beats, whatever game you play. Like I tell people all the time, like I play Magic for so long that I'm just numb to like bad beats. It's just like.
Oh, it looks like they're playing it out. So let's see. It's possible Nyx will make some kind of mistake, but I do think this game is over.
Well, he's just breaking right now.
Yeah, Calimsha used his Sinister Soshi to give -2 to Retsugu. Let's see if he has another penalty effect. The problem is he only needs Strength 5 to break, and he hasn't played all that stuff. Like, that Skirmisher... Okay, unassuming Yojimbo's defending, but it's still breaking.
Yeah, the Scorpion Stronghold is only 1 strength. The Scorpion Stronghold is 1, the Unicorn is 0, and the Crab one is 3. Those are the non-2
Bonsai Retsugu, wow, yeah.
Nyx had this break so much in hand.
In fact, he's probably going to kill this Yojimbo with a duel.
Now, is this more BM? Is this more BM than saying think faster?
Playing it out is BM. You just pass. Once Calimsha passes its BM to duel him, Nyx should just pass and take the win. Calimsha passes. We'll see whether or not Retsugu goes for the spite duel here.
This is what we call running up the score.
He's really going for spite.
It's not spite. No. This is in like the NBA when one team's up by 40 points and someone goes in for.
Wow, Calimsha points out this is a bit of BM. I agree, dude. I don't think you go for the full display here. I think you just pass.
No. See, the way I see it. Okay. Look. All right. No. Let's have a philosophical debate on this.
No, dude, I gotta report this. Calimsha said this is a bit of BM, and you should feel ashamed. And Nyx responds by quoting "for shame."
This is why Nyx is my boy. Nyx hangs out in crab chat. I like it.
That's a BM, man. I don't like.
Look. So here's how I see it. It's the same reason that when in pro sports people get upset with teams running up. Like, do you follow football?
Not really.
What about basketball?
Nah, I'm not. Right. I follow some
All right, well, okay.
College football stuff. But
Sure. In sports, you hear all the time coaches complaining or players complaining about the other team running up the score. you know what you could do? One, you could just not let them run the score up on you by playing better. Two, you could also just concede. There is a concede button. Like,
and Calimsha has found the concede button before Raitsugu can duel off the unassuming Yojimbo.
yeah, it's sure it is kind of BM, but there is a literal concede button if you don't want to deal with it. So I don't know.
That's true.
That's how I view it. I do agree that it might not be the most tactful thing you can do, but it also is your fault for continuing to play a game you know you've lost. And Calimsha also said GG, like he's already conceded basically. He just didn't hit the button.
In
Let me see if Nix wants to do an interview. I definitely agree that obviously we want people to be tactful and stuff, but the way I see it, I don't know if you're familiar with the term face and heel.
I'm from pro wrestling.
Yeah. So Nix here is cementing himself as a grade A heel.
Oh.
Heels aren't. It's not a bad thing to be a heel. Like it's not a bad thing to be a heel. Like if you're a good heel, like that is good for storylines. That drives storylines. I am totally fine if someone sees me as a heel. Like that just means I'm doing my job well. Within reason. Like he's not like Nix didn't say like any derogatory things to him. Like he didn't call him names or attack him personally. He just played the game.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let me add Nix to the call. That Jade Masterpiece was pretty sick. It did deny Calimsha a lot of fate, and Calimsha has a really heavy conflict deck, like in terms of cost.
Nix, congratulations.
Yeah, dude, you did it. You were so negative about it. Like I remember you in private, you were PMing me just saying how you were not confident.
Yeah. I guess it happened, huh?
Yeah,
I
so
just shuffled his deck. I shuffled his deck and put the AFWCD at the bottom.
Yeah.
I was worried you were gonna get nuked on that first turn when you had the Yokuni with one fate.
Yeah.
I was really scared, so I just didn't play it. Yeah.
So on turn one, like, you must have been feeling the pressure because your flop was just not very good on turn one.
What happened turn one was he had all 3 PFBs, right? So my Yokuni, I was first player, so I didn't want to attack first because he could fade me, right? So I went with Shugenja first.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I was trying to not attack with it at all, but yeah, apparently I had to in the end. So
Yeah.
but he did it. Yeah,
we saw a little bit of I guess running up the score at the end there.
Oh no. He already said GG, so it was over. So it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah, that's fair. Like he was complaining a little bit in chat. My opinion is that if you don't wanna deal with it, he technically hadn't actually conceded from the game. So if you don't want to have the score run up, just hit concede.
Yeah, exactly, man. He could just say concede and leave.
There's just a couple things that I want to ask you about. So the turn that you attacked with your swordsmith, so you attack with swordsmith and you attack with master, and he used the plagiarist to bow out your swordsmith, and then he got a free attack in.
Okay.
Do you remember that turn?
Yeah, I think so.
So you had a swordsmith with a fan, and if you just left it back to defend, you would have had your Neaton master be honored for all of his attacks. You basically gave up dishonor on your master. Like, I think
I was trying to break pilgrimage that turn, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you had the fury in your graveyard, and he just had the plagiarist, so it didn't matter that the swordsmith was coming in.
Technically,
right.
the swordsmith did add 1 point because he could have used the fury on the tattooed wanderer.
Okay, there was a reason for that. I think I had a let go in hand.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't want him to let go something. I can't remember what. So I wanted him to copy the fury.
Oh,
okay, that's fair. Yeah, I think you played around the.
I thought you had some
can't
good
remember.
counterplay on that plagiarist, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That plagiarist was it was annoying. I had to play around it. But...
Yeah, you baited it really well. Your second turn was insane. Like the cloud, everything went your way. You had the cloud, the mind, you had everything.
Yeah, that felt good, man.
Yeah. Well, so
Yeah,
like going into turn 2, you were up a lot, like a lot of resources. You were up 9 cards and 3 fate.
yeah, I was thinking back to your game with Eric, and I was thinking like, oh, I don't want to be Eric here, man.
Oh, where you have a lead, and you
Yeah,
want to make sure to
also-
bury your opponent.
Also stressed out by the lead. I was like, okay, let's not throw this.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. The other question I have was what was it? Oh, crap. I forgot what I was gonna ask you. Give me one sec.
I guess my plays are unquestionable, huh?
I mean, I definitely think you played. I definitely think you played very well. You're adept. So on this attack here, so if you just pre-play method on adept,
Okay.
so when he attacks you with hero A, right? He then doesn't have a safe attack,
Okay.
right? I mean, you do have the covert, so it's whatever. But you also could just not defend.
My hand was court games, fan, and the method that you saw.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, if you just don't defend the attack, he has no military attack because he swung with his political attack for some reason.
Yeah.
So then he has
I'm not. I can't understand why either.
So he has no military skill. He has no military skill with hero A. Even if he has a Yojimbo, he has used all of his bonsais, and he only has 1 katana left.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, actually, it didn't matter. I could have just like randomly clicked cards and still won, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, because even if I screw up this attack, my Sumiko still goes in for political.
That's true.
Sumiko
Yeah,
is
so
a very
it's-
strong card in this situation.
So
I would have considered playing Sumiko with more fate to protect against fate worse than death.
I left exactly enough fate to play all my cards.
That's
Because
fair.
I've one more method in hand, so
Yeah, but the method would just help you on the political attack, I guess. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, which is the second attack if I fail this.
Well, if it gets fate worse than if it gets fate worse than death.
Then it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I guess then it doesn't matter because the Raitsugu kills him because Raitsugu by itself is breaking. And then there's one of the only other mistake that I saw was you missed manicured gardens twice.
Oh, one of them wasn't a miss. The one I already used it on the first attack. The second one, yeah, I did miss it.
No, like there was one turn
Yeah.
where you missed it,
Yeah.
but then you ended up using it. But there was actually a turn where he attacked it twice and you just forgot to use it.
Yeah. The second. I remember that. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was talking to Kingsley. I'm like, do you do this? And so when I'm playing, I literally just click on everything before I hit pass just to make sure that I've used everything.
That's cheating, man.
How's
Because in a paper game, you can't touch your cards, right? It doesn't.
Sure,
do
sure you can.
anything.
In a paper
That
game,
isn't-
in a paper game, I'm gonna be like, I activate manicure gardens, and then I'm just gonna be like, I assume I haven't done it yet.
I'll call a judge, man. I'll be like, this guy's using Medical Gardens twice.
No, so if I say activate manicure gardens and you say you've already used it, I'm like, oh, okay, I just didn't remember.
Oh,
No.
that's intention to cheat right there.
Well, what if I literally didn't remember?
Too bad, too bad. You just can't activate it.
I don't know. What if I ask you, have I used manicure garden this turn, and then you answer yes,
No.
even though I haven't.
I'll say no matter what.
Oh,
No.
okay. You say
Sorry,
no matter what.
No. I'll say yes. Yeah. You
Wow. The
See,
true
that is also
bad
cheating. That's
manners
also
now
cheating.
seen
That's also
play.
cheating. That's
I'm just not
misrepresenting
sure.
the game state for advantage. That's actually cheating. That's actually cheating by definition of magic in Magic at
It
least.
is an unenforceable rule, though. To be fair.
I'm just careless, just like you, right? You can't remember. I can't remember.
No, that's exactly right, man. It's the same stuff that caused that controversy in Netrunner with Netrunner has very many effects that are mandatory. There are far fewer things or reactions where it's clearly on one player to trigger it. So early in Netrunner, there would be Desperado was a card where when the runner makes a successful run, they gain a fate or they gain a credit. And there was another card called Data Sucker that gained a token when you made a successful run on a central. And the corp would frequently just not remind the runner if they forgot to take the stuff. And if they asked them, they're like, oh yeah, I forgot too, man.
Too
You know,
bad.
I guess we both missed it. And it's like, it's really bad. It's bad behavior.
Yeah, because Netrunner doesn't use the same framework of reactions and stuff, so everything is mandatory if you say so.
Basically, like, you can rewind most things as long as it's caught within a certain amount of time. There's certain mandatory triggers that like if you like go through a whole turn like that are it's really problematic. Like if someone forgets if both players forget Kasada trigger, that can be really bad.
Yeah, ultimately it still depends on like both players.
Yeah, it's up to both players
yeah.
to maintain the game state. Obviously, in paper, it's different. See, I don't know how the rules are like in this in terms of like enforcing versus Magic. Like since I've played so many Magic tournaments.
Okay, I'll give you an example. This game right here, the Calimsha missed one conflict, right? He passed by accident.
Well, so I was telling
Yeah.
Kingsley. So Kingsley was saying you can manually do it. I was saying that in paper, if you have no characters and you say pass in pre-conflict, you immediately pass your conflict.
Yeah, I mean because like I was saying, it mattered because it means that he knows that I'm gonna pass, right? Because that's actually information that he got. I passed and then he passed and then he said he wanted to do something.
No,
That-
and
that-
I also agreed that in the interface you can pass. Like
Yeah.
it does lead to misclicks, and I completely get that. But I'm just saying that there is a correlation in paper where you could just you can utter the word pass, like say you're nervous or whatever, and you
Oh,
can just
yeah,
say
yeah.
pass when you don't mean to say pass, but you uttered the phrase. You know what I mean? Like in paper, if my opponent says pass and then they say wait, I'm not gonna give it back to them. I'm in a tournament. I paid money to enter this thing just like you did.
So what I do is before the game, I tell my opponent, okay, look at this series of hand signals, alright? I'm gonna do this every time I pass.
Oh,
And then
sure,
I just,
okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, like in Magic,
Uh,
there's hand signals. There's like acceptable nomenclature. Like when people say okay or okay is usually a shortcut for it resolves. So there's like stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
But
Yeah,
no, congratulations. Let's see who you're playing. Who you're playing next.
it's largeness, I think, or
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but I don't think I think that the dragon deck we're playing is very very poorly matched against Sir Largeness's deck.
it's Mono no Aware, right?
Yeah, and he has 3 Fate worse than death.
Oh yeah, whatever. Man.
I
I'll
think
just
I think you could outlast him maybe for sure, but
just gotta shuffle it to the bottom and it's okay, right?
well, Investigator's really good in that matchup. He doesn't have any ways to break count. He doesn't have any ways to break really.
Yeah, I
So
don't
like
know, man.
if you
I'm
can just
playing
gain incremental
Scorpion
advantage
all the
with
way.
debates and Investigator.
Yeah.
Or you play against Crab. Which would you rather play against?
Oh, just give me crab.
You
Crab
want to
is
play
so
against
easy.
Crab?
Yeah, crab is really easy actually.
Yeah, I think
I find that dragon matches up really well against crab because like when they do stuff to you and you're doing stuff back, yours is mostly lower and cheaper than this.
yeah, that and also
Yeah.
like if you know how to play the matchup, like you can mitigate a lot of their strengths.
Yeah, it's possible to outplay, so to speak, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
actually, I want to talk about Jade Masterpiece.
no, it was
I thought-
sick, dude. We were hyping it
yeah.
up, man. It was sick.
Yeah, I thought it was really useful this game. So yeah, that's why
Yeah,
I was yeah, continue.
I was actually saying it's interesting because this game saw the situation both where Jade Masterpiece is very strong and also where Kitsuki's method is very strong at different times in the game.
Really? My method was, did I use it twice this game? No, I didn't.
No,
I used it
you
once.
used-
had
used it
you
twice.
had it ready if you had to use it again.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had it ready, but I didn't actually use it.
Well, you saw
Yeah.
you saw in my game against Eric that the method literally won me the game. Like that was the only thing that kept me in that game.
Yeah, so I'm playing a 1-1 split anyway. So.
Yeah, that's what
That's what
that's
I'm
what
at.
we've been
That's
doing.
what I'm at as well. I was testing 2 Jade Masterpiece for some time.
Yeah,
but it
I think
is-
the one method is good because Masterpiece is unique anyway.
Well, I
Yeah.
tested two just so I could consistently draw it. I wanted to see exactly how powerful it was, so I just wanted to play as many as was reasonable to play, so I could draw it more consistently.
So a lot of matchups now, like Scorpion and Crab, they need a lot of fate for their whole thing to operate. Like
Yeah.
fate without them. Yeah, so denying fate is very important. Yeah, that's about it. Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
No,
I'm conversing with chat here. We
Okay.
so I got some subs, and so if I get an emote, I think the first emote that I'm gonna get is gonna be a use box emote.
Yeah.
Because
why not?
that I think that summarizes my stream pretty well. Is just use box in all capitals with the spaces in between.
Especially in those crane games, man. I often like the crane stronghold is often something that both players forget, honestly.
Yeah, it's fair when both players forget, right?
All right, dude. I gotta go get ready. I gotta go.
Hey.
I'm flying out to PAX in a couple hours, so I gotta go do some real work. But congratulations again for your win. I know I know you were pretty happy because you said you weren't very confident in this matchup.
Yeah, I thought it was like pretty 50-50 actually, but
Yeah,
I'm glad
I,
I
I,
won.
I agree. I think this matchup is a 50-50 matchup. You
Oh,
just you dodged the problematic cards.
oh, I just shuffled it to the bottom, like I said.
Yeah, exactly.
Special tactics.
Yeah.
Special tactics.
All
So yeah,
right.
good luck for your tournament. Good luck at
Yeah.
PAX.
Take care, guys. I'll catch you guys later.
See ya.
Later.
All right, chat. Thanks again for another fun interactive game. We have. I will not be streaming. I will not be streaming this weekend. So any games from the cup that are going to be on this weekend will not be streamed by me. You can check out Rega's channel, which is twitch.tv/L5Rega. I'll put that in the chat. He might be streaming. I know that Sheba Travis, I Fight Dragons, on the Discord server said he was gonna try and stream some more. So look for those for any streams this weekend. If any of you, if any of you are going to be at PAX South, hit me up. I will be there hanging out with John Merholtz, Crab Hatamoto. So let me know who you are or whatever, and I'm totally down to hang out. All right, take care.